Hi, everybody. Dr. Cammy here, and I have a question for you. Have you ever noticed that when life is quiet and peaceful, it comes across to you as boring? There's no chaos, there's no drama, there's no emotional roller coasters, and you'll think of your life as boring and it'll feel like something's missing from it. Well, what if nothing's missing? What if what you're really feeling is serenity? So I've been noticing this over a while, for the last few months, even that I'm having more of this in my life and I'm relating it to being boring. But what it actually is serenity. So, society equates excitement with dopamine hits, with drama, with novelty, with urgency. We have people addicted to surfing on their phones all day long. But excitement does not often mean fulfillment. Boring often means that there's no fires to put out, that you have no emotional chaos going on, and that there's no self betrayal going on, that you're being true to yourself. So it doesn't really mean that your life is empty. It means that your life is being regulated. And I think that a lot of us really need to have our life more regulated and really appreciate how we feel when we're feeling like there's no fires to put out, there's nothing going on that we need to do. And so we want to think about things that are good for us in life when we feel like when we feel like we have more serenity in our lives. For example, like waking up without dread in your life, waking up and enjoying the beginning of the day, consistency instead of intensity in your life, being consistent in the things that you do, choosing what you want to do instead of reacting, having an action and pausing, being able to pause and think and have an action instead of reacting to things in life. And so those are things that are really important to make your life feel good. And, things like discipline and routine in your life and purpose in your life. When you stop chasing dopamine hits, life gets quieter and healthier. And you'll notice this and it feels better. You don't, at first it's work and you don't really realize that, not chasing the dopamine hits and being calm and quiet actually makes you feel better than chasing the dopamine hits. But that takes time to do that. So, a lot of us out there, we're addicted to stress, we're addicted to elevated cortisol, we're addicted to chaos, and we don't feel normal and what's usual for us unless we have emotional spikes going on. And so the nervous system will say, this feels unfamiliar and something is wrong when we start to have some quiet time and some serenity in our life. So the nervous system is trained to be on a chaotic mode, and what we really want is quiet mode. And so how this tip plays into me with sugar is that whenever I used to eat a lot of sugar, I would feel that excitement. I would get that dopamine hit, and not only tasting the chemicalness of it going down into my body and the chemical reaction that I would have, but the excitement around planning it and doing it. I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to buy this and this and this. I remember I used to walk into the store and think, hey, the world is my oyster. I can eat anything I want to in here when I was off of my food plan. So that created a lot of chaos in my life and created a lot of issues, like a big heavy body that's full of metabolic issues. So what we want to do is we want to have things that are repetitive in a good way. And we want to have things that are predictable and that are calm and that are self-respecting. And that's a lot of what I've been able to do by staying on a food plan and not eating sugar and not giving myself all this chaos that comes. And a peaceful life looks boring from the outside, but on the inside, it feels incredible. And this is what I'm trying to get across in this video is that the work that you have to put into it to have your boring, wonderful life that is serene feels really good. And it's a lasting feeling. It's sustainable. It's something that, doing the work will really pay off. So if your life feels quiet, then you need to pat yourself on the back and say, hey, I'm having a really quiet moment in my life right now. If there's no drama going on, you need to understand that that's serenity. If you're not chasing anymore and you're not trying to get, if you're spending less time on your phone and you're spending more time in meditation and you're doing those things that will give you this boring, serene life, then you need to be grateful. You need to pat yourself on the back and be happy for that. So I hope this gives you something to think about today and to have you realize that when life feels boring and there's no fires to put out in that moment, there's nothing going on that's chaotic, that serenity and having some serene moments in your life can really mean that life is great. And you'll have a really good feeling about that once you shift it from this is boring to this is serenity. I pray that you're going to be able to notice that feeling in your life, because holding on to that feeling can really give you a lot of calmness and can really give you a lot of happiness and can really make you feel good for the long run. All right, everybody, Dr. Cammy signing out, and we'll see you next time. Take care.